Hi, this is Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to week 3 of the Bugtopia collaboration with Junk Journal Fix for Sunflowers and Doors and Nonstop Papercraft, Suzanne Hutchinson's Facebook group. So week 3 prompt is pairing cards, or I think I've lost the plot a little bit. But basically, these are cards where we're going to use them to pair different components so that you'll have 2 cards that make up the story for one item. So this is the freebies that you're going to get as part of the group, the Facebook group. This is the Sunflower and Doors Facebook group, and these are the freebies that you will get to create your make for week 3. You can choose to do whatever you want. If you want to do something different, then go for it. By all means, go for it. But for week 3, I am going to be creating some cards. So I've kind of started by cutting my components up a little bit, and yeah, we'll just have a little play and see how we get on. So I'm going to do a couple of cards, but I am going to do, so there's the cards there, some insides, so these are my components. I'm not going to do those ones there. And they're literally going to be so simple. So, start off by, I've got my cards. What I'm going to do with these is I'm going to round the corners. And you need 4 cards if you're doing 2 different sets. So 2 cards for each set that you are creating. Yeah, that's right. Just questioning myself then. So I might go with some of the darker cards because I quite like those more than I like the lighter versions, but you'll get a choice in the kit. It's been such a fun collaboration to kind of play around with. I'm having to do all of my makes before the collaboration starts because I'm on holiday during June, so I can't tell you what Suzanne's been up to each week yet because I haven't seen it, but she's got the same problems as I've got. And yeah, really kind of having some fun with this. So these are our pairing cards, so the cards we're going to be using. So let's pick 4, 2, 3. Let's go with that for our 4. Now I'm going to back these on some paper. I've got some bee paper here, and I don't know what kit I got it from, but it was probably something like Craft Consortium, something along those lines. I think it was Craft Consortium, but I don't know what kit it was. But I thought this would make pretty cool backing sheets, and you'd still be able to write on the back if you wanted to do that. So I'm going to start off by just gluing these to our backing sheet. So that'll be our front and that'll be our back. So yeah, I hope you guys have been taking part in the collaboration. It's the first one between myself and Suzanne. We haven't worked together on a collaboration before. And when we were talking about what kind of kit we should be looking to develop, Suzanne had the idea of the Entomology kit, and it's not something I've done before. So it's been loved putting the kit together, but playing with the pieces has also been really cool. And I have also incorporated some of Tracy Fox's Entomology stamps. She's got some fabulous stamps on Entomology that she did as part of the Creative Expressions, I think. I think that was the one. So we've got that there. So I'm just going to let those dry for a moment. And then we're going to come up with some components. So the first one we've got is the bee. We're going to be using the bee on here, one of them, and then we're going to create a separate piece over here to show the bee off. But I don't want it just to be plain components. So I've grabbed some other bits and pieces, and I'm hoping that I will be able to create some layering that might look quite useful. I'm terrible at the decorating component part of this. So yeah, it's not my favourite part, decorating. I love the build element of journals, but creating the embellishments, the look at the end, isn't my strongest suit. So it's something I always struggle with. I've also got some gold foil. Now this, I can't remember what this is from. It looks like it belongs to Ferrero Rocher, but I'm not sure if it does, to be honest, because it looks to be a bit big unless it was just part of the packaging. So I thought they might work quite well. So we've got those. Yeah, I hope that's gonna look okay. So I'm just going to quickly cut these up now. And I can do a neat trimming with some scissors. I've got a little one of these somewhere, but don't ask me where it is. If you saw my craft space, you would understand why I say that, because you think my desk is scruffy and messy and chaotic. It's nothing compared to my whole craft area. So okay, so let's just take these off again. Again, I am demanding of whether to ink these to grungy them up a little bit, but the kit is quite grungy anyway, so I'm not tending to do that a lot. But you know, if that's what you like, then by all means, you do you. This bit just needs a bit of trimming. Okay. So these, keep these pieces to one side because we may use those. So I'm going to focus on the two front pieces at the moment. And this is the ones where I've pulled some of this off, I'm thinking of adding some of this and then have this. So I may need to tear that down a little bit, but I'm not going to overthink this, because that's one of my worst habits, is I overthink everything. So I'm not going to overthink it. I am literally just going to place these down. Like that. And I'm going to do the same over here. Take a little bit more of this off. So this is actually the last bank holiday in May that I'm working with at the moment. Tells you how crazy my next couple of months are going to be. So if I didn't get these done, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get them done full stop. Okay, so the first one is our bee. Now I also have somewhere another bee here, which I could use instead of that one. So this bee that I'm thinking of using now comes from the kit. It's one of the fussy kits, but I think if I'm right, it's also available in some of the freebies, I think. So let's just check. So get my little mini scissors. So you can use either bee. So there's this here, which we can use, but I think I'd have to tear that down a little bit. So let's do that anyway, because if I am going to use it, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I do like that. So I'm going to stick with that. So that's our bee. And we're just going to glue that on there. So we've got, don't know how well you can see the different components there, and then some backing on the back there, which you can, as I said, write on if you wanted to. And then with the ladybug, I'm going to have to do the same. I'm going to have to tear some of this if I want to use, and I'm also going to tear just the very edge of this side. You could raise these if you wanted to. You could use some glossy accent to colour in, or some embossing glaze to colour in your main pieces that would make them pop out a little bit more. But I'm just going to stick with these. So we've got a little bit of layering, a little bit of colour, and that's our two front pairing cards. Now for the back pages, we've got some really boring pieces here. So it's about how do we jazz those up a little bit. Now that would work, but I think I might like a little bit of foil on that as well. So we'll put that there. Just make sure that comes out a little bit there. With this one, I think I'm gonna take the edges off a little bit so we've got more, it's not quite so plain. Yeah, so let's glue this on. That'll go there, like that. We're going to pop this on here at a slight angle. And this is our ladybug one, so let's not put the wrong label. And I'm thinking, I did have some material. What did I do with that? There it is. I was thinking of popping this and a bit of this. Let's just cut that off there. And that off there. We can glue this onto this fabric. Oops-a-daisy. Like that. Just cut this down like that. I've also got some of this, which I think I might use. So I'll put that on there like that. And I'm going to pop that up there. And put the glue a little bit thicker, so I'm only going to put it on once. And it should glue all of those things in place. So that's our ladybug, which will go with that one there as a pairing card. And then we've got our bee, our bumblebee. I think I'm going to go with that. Might be a little bit too in your face. Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, I don't like that at all. But again, that with that. Okay. This will go on there. Like that. A bit further on that one, like that. We'll cut our bee. And that will go on there like that. And again, we'll layer that slightly. And then we've got our little bee, which I think I'm going to put on as it is. The right way. And I'm going to use some of these. There, like that. I might use one and two over here. I've got that earring, but I think that's way too big. I didn't use any of that after, did I? No. It's okay. So, what I do want is all of this sort of make way. We're going to create a hole here. We're going to put a eyelet. In here. Now we're going to get a jump ring. I don't know if I've got one. Yeah, I've got one. Don't use gold jump rings as a rule. I think that's as good as it's going to be. Okay, so that's going to open there. We're going to grab one of these, and again, these are, oh, there you go, it was called Tell the Bees. That is the kit with the paper, and I also bought these bees here. I started making a bee journal at some point. Never got around to finishing it, but hey ho. I don't know now whether that's going to go in there like that. Yeah. Okay. So that is our bee pairing cards. I might put a little bit, just a little bit of ink around the edge on those. So I'm not going to do the actual components inside, but just a little bit around the edge. Okay, so that is our bee pairing card, and what we've got here is we've just got a picture of the bee, we've got a journal space on the back, picture of the bee, and on this one it says the vast majority of bee species are solitary, meaning that they don't live in colonies with a queen and worker bees. Each female bee builds and provisions her own nest. The nesting habits are incredibly diverse. So that's our pairing card for that set. And our ladybugs, what else can we do for our ladybugs? So looking a little bit lonely now compared to our bees. I think we could add some of this pinky reddy, well it's not red is it? There's nothing red about it. But it's got a bit of colour, so you could, it's not just plain. No, so 2 there. I think I'm going to add one of these. On that. And have we got anything else? Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? We could use our Entomology stamp. And I might use it for this one. And there's that one. Oh, goes over here, that's right. It's looking a bit weird. I think that's upside down. And then perhaps just one more. See, this is the problem when I get started. I went for so many years without using stamps at all in my projects. Just didn't use them at all. Don't know why, just didn't. But once I started, oh my goodness. Trying to stop then became a huge issue. Okay, and I am going to stop now because otherwise I think I'm going to kill them. So, we've got our bee pairing cards. And we've got our ladybug pairing cards. And that was our week 3 of the Bugtopia challenge. So can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Love to know what you think of these. Leave a message in the description box below. Would really love to know what you think. And I'll leave it there. So as always, stay well, be safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Until then, bye for now.